Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 here in this PvP spawning in the top right position. Currently 1 game up. This is the lower bracket, so he needs to win to stay in the tournament. If he loses 2 games in a row now, he does bow straight out, but currently using an advantage. Let's see if he can close it out. It's fnatic.harstem. He's going to be going up against the red Protoss player in the bottom left of the map. In that previous DT versus DT game, just not quite able to tackle the two-pronged attack of his opponent, losing a couple too many workers and GGing out. Wants to reset his mindset for this game. Can he turn things around? Representing roxkis, we have Titan.
And well, basically, for PvP, since we've identified it's not going to be proxies, the other option for Cheese is a cannon rush, but since they're up to 12 probes, I don't really think that's going to be happening either. This is a very good map for cannon rushing, though, just for anyone who doesn't know. Probably the best map in the pool. But now what we're going to be looking for is the gas timings, whether it's 1 gas or 2 gases, and whether they put 2 or 3 guys in each of their gases, provided that it's 2. And that's going to be a little bit to tell us, like, if they're planning on teching or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, last game we had 2 gases almost immediately from both players, and 3 probes in each straight away, of course, required for that early Twilight Council and Dark Shrine, etc. Just going to be scouting for proxies. Is Harstem at the moment, not wanting to allow his opponent to get back into the series with a cheese or anything like that. He's saying, if you're going to beat me, I want you to beat me straight up in a macro game. And to be fair, that's definitely one place where Harstem is quite comfortable with himself. So he's going to be pleased he hasn't scouted anything there, and that he's able just to get on with doing what he does best.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if he just double checks with a scout, just over down the bottom of his main, just to see if there is a cannon on the low ground being built, but actually he already did that, so never mind. But basically everything is looking very standard right now, but we do have 3 guys straight away in gas for Titan and for Harstem too.
We've got he literally just put 3rd in guys. So,
okay.
Yeah,
so he queued guys after the cyber core. That's also pretty standard.
Yep. So just 20 gas difference between the 2, with Harstem actually very slightly higher up on that gas, but not going to be making a massive difference later on in the game. We'll give him a couple of seconds worth of extra flexibility in terms of tech, and well, looks like he's going to be using that immediately to stick down a Stargate behind his mineral line.
Yeah. Well, Stargate coming on down, as you said, for Harstem. What's the tech choice going to be from Titan? No tech, just a sentry so far, so he is playing pretty safe. Where is he going? Is he going to pressure with a sentry? What?
I guess that's a thing.
What? Okay, this is... like, Titan does really unconventional stuff. Oh, that's not his probe. That's Harstem's probe. Okay, yeah. That explains a lot. God, pink versus red is so annoying.
No, he's going out for putting that pylon down so he could warp in the 2nd sentry. And if he gets that warp in, the game's over. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, sentries have such high DPS. It's going to be Phoenixes out of Harstem immediately. I like this. One of my favorite builds to do is in PvP is actually a Phoenix 3-gate all-in. No additional gateways from Harstem just yet, so we don't know if it is going to be that. But Titan going to the Twilight Council, if Harstem wants to play macro from here, Harstem is going to be in a bit of a tough spot to try to deal with Blink Stalkers if that's what Titan's opting for.
That's actually a really good point. We can see more Stalkers being produced now from Titan as well, and it is indeed going to be Blink. So Titan this game feeling like he could positionally have an upper hand against Harstem here. We'll see how much effectiveness he can really squeeze out of these Phoenixes. He's going to have to use them to keep Titan in his base as much as possible, pick off a probe or 2 when he can, but really just to prevent the macro from Titan getting too out of control. Now we can see the Phoenix coming in to scout, and I think you will have recognized now that, hang on a second, that's unlikely to be a hallucination given the amount of damage it was taking. So he should know that his opponent's gone Stargate.
Yeah, so basically, he's throwing down a Robo here to deal with the Blink, because this does look like a 1-base play from Titan with the additional gateways coming on up. So going up to 3 gateways is not hyper all-in. You can expand behind it. It's not a 4-gate Blink play, but yeah, with the number of probes that Titan has, he definitely wants to expand here. He's not going all in. But, yeah, actually, there's a Nexus down too. So he can still put on a lot of pressure with this, though, and 3-gate Blink Stalkers can kill somebody who's not ready. So Harstem is getting ready with this Robo. He's going to want a couple of Immortals out. I wouldn't be too surprised to see him go Immortals before even an Observer coming on out.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that'll allow him to be pretty safe. We have a Nexus queued up for Harstem as well.
I believe also the Phoenixes did spot that the Twilight Council was researching something, which allows him to eliminate the immediate Dark Templars from his thoughts. So delaying that Observer is going to be isn't going to be catastrophic for him here. Hasn't actually started that Immortal just yet. He is going to be grabbing his Nexus and putting that down on the low ground first. The Phoenixes right now just keeping Titan in his base a little bit.
Yeah, so basically the Phoenixes, as you mentioned earlier, their goal right now is going to be to pick off a couple of probes that are not defended. Like that one right there, one goes down. He's going to maybe get another one here. But he has to be very careful because Phoenixes are pretty expensive units. And they can be super helpful in an engagement. They can pick up Immortals if Titan goes for a Robo. They can pick up Stalkers. They can just do stuff to lessen the DPS output of Titan's army in a head-up engagement. So he really doesn't want to lose those Phoenixes. So you do want to try to get as much done with them, but you also really, really, really don't want to lose them.
Now, Titan right now, he is at 34 probes versus 29, by the way, so he has got a little bit of an economic advantage over Harstem here. His natural expansion did finish slightly earlier as well, so it feels like the onus is on Harstem just a little bit to get some extra damage done. These Phoenixes would love to be able to pick off 2 or 3 more extra probes. Oh, going to be able to do just that here. 2 of them going down before Blink underneath them and not able to kill any of them up. Or have I spoken too soon? No, all 4 Phoenixes get away, but one of them does take extensive hell damage.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a sloppy control there by Titan. If he'd focus fired the injured Phoenix beforehand, the second volley went onto a Phoenix that still had shields.
Yeah.
If he'd focused properly, he may well have gotten that one Phoenix.
And right now, the worker count now down to 4. I mean, still with a marginal advantage here from Titan. So a lot of this might come down to the first engagement when Harstem moves out with a couple of these Immortals to see if he can put a massive dent in these Blink Stalkers as well. The main objective of these Phoenixes in the engagement is to really draw fire away from the Immortals, picking up a couple of Stalkers, for example, preventing the army from being able to blink in and blink out uninterrupted, and really just kind of disrupting Titan while the Immortals do the big damage.
Another thing to note here is that while Titan, as you said, has a slight economic lead, Harstem is about 45 seconds ahead in the upgrades. So he does have a bit of an advantage in that respect. It's not a huge timing that'll allow him to hit with like a massive upgrade advantage that lasts an entire engagement. This is kind of interesting. We just have a bunch of Phoenixes being spam-clicked to stack here by Harstem in the main of Titan. Probably just waiting to see if there's any misrallied units coming on out. Gotta be careful. Blinking down onto the low ground. No real damage. Just about 20 damage on the one Phoenix. The rest is all shields.
Yep. Just about gets away with that. The Observer coming out at a pretty useful time there for Titan, completely stopping Harstem in his tracks, and additional Immortals continuing to be made over here in the main base of the Pink Protoss. We can see another gateway now being added on for him as well. Ooh, in fact, a couple more. So Harstem looking like he is going to be going for a timing at some point in the near future. Twilight Council coming down for him as well.
He's only going up to 5, so this doesn't look like an all-in, but it does look like he wants to at least lay down a bit of the law. He wants to come to Titan's doorstep and say, you're not alone on this map, I am here, and try to get some damage done with that. That is what it looks like. Meanwhile, we do have some charge coming on out here for our red Protoss as well. And there's the third Nexus. Never mind, that's not a queued up Nexus. That is going out for a pylon.
All right. Well, I mean, the Nexus 4 Titan is down, so we'll see if... In fact, Harstem's actually going to spot this almost immediately with the Phoenix as well, so he's going to know, hang on a second, I've just made a couple more gateways, I'm looking to possibly do a bit of a push, and I can see my opponent's invested in a third base. This is going to make Harstem a pretty happy chappy, because he knows that his eventual move out is just going to be that little bit more effective. He can also use this opportunity to just grab a third base of his own, or he could also come in, maybe take that base while pushing with these Immortals, because they're now going to be pretty powerful.
Yeah. The big issue right now is that Titan, he has Blink, so he has a lot of mobility on his Stalkers, and he also has Charge, which means these Zealots are going to close the distance very, very quickly. And as a result, with the Colossus backing up as well, there's a whole ton of DPS here for our red player. I don't think Harstem could have gotten that much done, but I still would have liked to see him try, because of the recall, he can just get out of there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think, especially now that he's seen that Colossi are coming out, I would much rather try and push in and see if I can do a bit of damage against an opponent that has one Colossus, then wait, take my third, recognize my third's actually slightly behind my opponent's, and then wait a little while longer when my opponent all of a sudden has 4 or 5 of them. That just makes things a lot more awkward for him. So he is going to be moving out anyway, a little bit later than anticipated while the third base is being taken. He could still disrupt this third base a fair bit, but Titan sees him coming, and it looks like he's getting into a good position.
Yeah, so...
It's a lot of Immortals, though.
Yeah, this is 5 Immortals. This is a ton of Immortals here for Titan, for Harstem rather. And Titan doesn't really have any. He has one sort of hiding under the Colossus' legs. if these Immortals can close the distance to the Colossus, 6 Immortals will kill off Colossi so fast, and that Colossus is a little bit toward the front. The Time Orbs do go down, but the Zealots closing the distance so quickly against those Immortals.
The Immortals just busy attacking the Zealots, and all of a sudden, their amazing effectiveness against these Colossi, against these Stalkers, just completely minimized, and that blunder looks like, yeah, it's just going to cost him the game. GG, and Titan wins game number 2. We're going to an ace match.